Hello, sacred community. Welcome back. I am Molly Douglas, lit from within, and we left off, I think, shortly after the eclipse. And this eclipse energy that has been coming through was really powerful as a time to release, to reflect. I've been doing a lot of reflection with all the changes that have been happening since summer, since spring, since like March, even before that, but really having things come into focus of like, why am I here? What am I here to do? How am I here to do it? Who am I here to do it with, and where? And this journey is really it's a bigger story. It's a much, much bigger story of why we're here and what we're here to do, especially those of you on this priestess path that are on this path of awakening, of spiritual awakening, knowing that you have a mission, you have a purpose to anchor in the divine feminine frequencies and this balance, this harmony and balance of the masculine and the feminine energies. And this energy dynamic is within us. It's within all of us. And it is part of a soul mission to anchor that in to ourselves and to our relationships and to the planet in order to help humanity evolve. Yes, throat chakra energy is in effect right now. I've been feeling and connecting into so many like blues and greens and seeing that reflection. Reflection is this key theme for this podcast of Spiritually Naked with Soul. Because there's so much more to the story with all these changes. These mirrorings, these reflections, this part of the journey is really opening up this higher heart and speaking our truth. And I worked through the archetypes of the Age of Light, which has been with me on this journey since like 2016, 2017, when my divine feminine awakening started happening. And let's be clear, an awakening is not super glamorous. It's not easy. You have to go through the muck and the mud, the shadow work, the inner child work, the wounds, the trauma. And doing that with the archetypes helped create a compass for me, helped create a guide. An inner guide. And when I could connect into an archetype, and these were the ones that made sense for me, it was really helpful then to figure out what the shadow parts were to the archetypes. And so mine started with the light body warrior, recognizing that the body is more than just the physical body. And I've had my own stories of body issues, of body image issues, of not having a kind or loving relationship with my body. That has been a continuous part of my story of feeling my value and worth. And so recognizing that the body is just one part of who we are as a whole has been so empowering. For myself, of recognizing the spiritual body, the energetic body, and allowing that to see through that lens. And so recognizing that we are human and divine, we are our physical and our spiritual, our emotional, our etheric, our mental, like we are these parts, opens up from when we get that headspace, right? Get out of our headspace, then we come down to the second archetype, which is the divine alchemist. And the divine alchemist is recognizing we can move our wounds into wisdom. we are our own healers. We are our own self-healers, which was so important for me on this journey and for my clients as a therapist, an art therapist, mental health therapist, that, it's so empowering when it's not somebody outside of yourself telling you what to do and how to heal, that it is your own inner guide. It's your own inner healer that can assist you. It's your own higher self that assists you in knowing what you need to empower yourself and to heal. We just have to go in and do the work, which can feel the scariest. But not only does this heal like on an emotional level, we are multidimensional beings, so we can heal this on a multidimensional level. We can work with the quantum realm. We can work with healing our timelines, our ancestral timelines, forward and back. We can heal soul stories. We can heal lifetimes through our DNA, epigenetics. So it really expanded this way that I do healing with clients and the way that I saw myself. And then through that, opened up the creatrix. So it's really hard to be in our creative energy when we're holding fear or doubt or worries. It completely blocks that out. So ending into the creatrix was really connecting back into the spiritual gifts, magic of what we hold. And the womb wounds, right? And as we go lower, we're connecting lower, we're connecting more into those feminine energies. And these are the feminine chakra energies that I found on my journey. And we're finally connecting into this, the energy of the sacral, of the pelvic bowl, of the womb, energetic womb space, where we hold so many fears and doubts and shame. Shame is huge. And again, healing, shadow work, inner work, child work, trauma work. So it's been a journey, right? And then when we get connected to the creatrix and we're holding not only our heart center and our womb center together with our open mind, then we are really tapping into this high priestess energy, which is the connection to our feminine crown. Our masculine as above, so below, our feminine crown at our root. And that's the one. That's the one who holds the shadow and the light. It's the one that knows that this is a spiritual journey, that this is an inner journey, that this is really a leader, a way shower, an activator for divine feminine awakening and recognizing you are a divine feminine. The wounded feminine energy is healing, being an anchor, being a voice for that. And there's lots of layers to that, but really just recognizing that is maybe what you're here to do. It's what I'm here to do, is be an anchor for that. And that's just through speaking my truth, knowing that I'm an activator, which can sometimes be triggering to people, but owning and embodying the gifts, the spiritual gifts, the creatrix, owning and embodying the heart healer and the energy and frequency of healing on that multidimensional level, and recognizing yourself as a light body, right? Human and divine. This energetic being that can shift and change frequency, that can anchor light. This is not a me thing. This is a we thing. Not alone in this. There's those who resonate with this will be like, oh yeah, right? Highly empathic, feel all the feels, but have maybe tried to shut it down, or things get overwhelming. Very difficult to speak truth, speak your voice. Difficult being seen and heard. Natural healer, right? People naturally come to you when they have a problem or worry. Maybe you grew up with that in your family, as being the healer, as being the caretaker. A lot of caretakers as divine feminines in this lifetime. And that's part of what we're here to heal, right? To find balance, to move from caretaker to setting those boundaries, to not be the overgiver, to not be the self-sacrificer, to not be the pleaser, to recognize that too, we have to nourish ourselves. This is a nourishment journey when we are putting the feminine first, that feminine way of being first. We are creating space for our own self-nourishment and sustainability, to fill up our cup so that we have it to give, and recognize we don't have to keep giving from our own cup, that we are connected to this light source energy that is just flowing, right? That we are a channel, but we are also a flow of this life source energy from below, from Mother Earth, and above, from pulling down that cosmic light to within. And that's what we give through. And when we can connect into that, then we don't feel drained and depleted. We do feel like we have it to give. We can set our boundaries of discernment. Ooh, yeah. So the divine feminine awakening, right? That has been going on personally for me for several years, and just owning and embodying that and seeing that as like okay, then it starts over again, right? It's the Ouroboros. It's a cycle. It's cyclical. It's not linear. This is not a linear healing. And then connecting into this next energy is really recognizing, okay, this is a balance. This is a divine feminine and a divine masculine energy story. Some of this is being called a twin flame journey. It's being called a sacred union, coming into balance. And we come into this world as either a primary feminine or a primary masculine energy essence. And we're here to find the balance of the other. And this goes beyond gender. This is an energy dynamic. It does not matter. It is, there are plenty of people in same genders, and it's recognizing that balance that we are here to heal. So as feminine does awaken first, because the feminine is the one to then be able to hold the masculine wounds, and this is your own inner masculine, this is my own inner masculine, with compassion, with understanding, and really recognizing this watery, this feminine energy is now ready to tap into the fires, right? As we have descended and we are now into the earth, we are connected into this core energy of fire, of desire, of pleasure, of sensual, sexual wholeness, of Kundalini energy. This is the Dakini, this is the sex priestess, this is the Tantrika, this is the womb Buddhistava, this is the fire that we have been separated and divided from, especially if there's been trauma, if there's been sexual trauma, if there's been, if you've come into this world, you're also, as a woman, you're here to heal this wound of being separated from the body and all the magic that the body has, that has been shamed or deemed evil or bad or not okay. And we're here to embody and reclaim that as the divine feminine. And again, it can go beyond gender. So keep that in mind. This is a energy story. These are energy stories that you may resonate with. And this may be a small group of you, and if so, that's okay too. It was helpful for me to find tools on this journey that help hold space for what I was experiencing when, not too long ago, I felt really lost, especially during this part, the fire part, anchoring in the masculine energies, which when I tapped into that fire, was also very activated on my twin flame journey, not recognizing, okay, I'd had some messages coming through that, how things were going to change, and that there were certain relationship patterns and dynamics that were coming more up to the surface of codependent stories that were ready to heal. And knowing that my purpose also was connected to my job, my career, and was also going to be connected into my sacred partnerships and relationships. And yeah, I first noticed this story of twin flame or unions when I went to Hawaii on vacation, and I was getting a twin flame reading a lot that was coming into balance. And I kept seeing this story of Lemuria and Atlantis being around like Hawaii and the Pacific, but then also on the opposite side of the United States, as Atlantis energy on that side. And where I live in the middle of the United States really is centered. And so I was seeing and feeling this balance of the feminine with the Hawaii energy, the Lemurian energy, and the masculine with the Atlantis. And recognizing that I am here to hold energy for those and to help anchor those in, those frequencies. And so the Reiki and energy work that I started doing was connected to Lemurian healing and Atlantean healing and holding space for those. Yeah, so that created the biggest shift in awareness. And then recently this summer, I was activated and have been on this journey of this high priestess path and this bigger story about the divine feminine and divine masculine and sacred union, and recognizing that this alignment, and man, it is not easy. It moves us deep into all those conditional love stories. The shadow work that happens through the divine masculine energy, which is now, if you're on this wave of divine feminines, you might be feeling this story with the divine masculine, and where they have not been ready. They have not been where you are. They have not, because even though they have called in this energy to activate them, you already have a kind of a head start in a way. They are awakening. The divine masculine is here to feeling my throat chakra. It's the first time I've talked about this in this kind of way, the public way. So bear with me. Yeah, they're awakening. They're awakening, and the feminine can feel it, especially if there's a divine twin flame union. You can feel it. There was an activation for me, and my divine masculine was not fully aware or ready for that. But it was important to speak my truth. It was important to speak my truth and to share what I was feeling. I was compelled to do that. I could not do anything but that. There was so much telepathic information coming in from me, from music, from, hearing this person's words, from hearing their voice, from knowing and seeing like past lifetimes of our stories, and seeing future, and seeing the potential, seeing what it could be if the work happens, if the healing happens. But beyond that, it really opened up this return to love myself, this awakening of this highest vibrational frequency that never felt before, and that this knowing that this feeling of sharing these kind of feelings of love with myself and in relationships, potentially with this partner, could and would like change my life forever. But it's a journey. It's a journey. And in this lifetime, we have free will. And so the bigger picture of this reflection, and the twin flame is a reflection. Like a twin flame is holding the soul. It's a soul counterpart. It's sharing the same core energy, the same core soul that was split into two at the time of creation, and recognizing that you've shared lifetimes with this person. It is different than a soulmate. You can feel soulmate connection. You can feel like, oh yeah, you're familiar. But with a twin flame, it's like you're home. You're home. And it's beyond that. It's just a vibrational frequency that is like none other. It is just a longing, a desire, and knowing that you're going to set the world on fire, right? So moving through these divine feminine energies and anchoring those in allows space for this divine masculine journey, whether you're on the twin flame journey or not. Yeah, because you will, you will feel this person. You will feel this person constantly at times. When you are on this journey. And there are certain resources that really helped me through this. One was a podcast called The Twin Flame Connection. Michele Lynch, I believe. Double check that. She was wonderful. Her podcast was wonderful. It put so much clarity when I was feeling crazy, when I was feeling like, am I delusional? What is going on? And no, like it just put everything into order. My guides were just sending me messages over and over and over again of trusting this. And that's what this process is for the feminine, to trust your knowing, to trust your truth, to return to self-love. And it is a death and rebirth process with each of these archetypes. It's a transformational journey. And so holding space for these new archetypes of the divine masculine. So we have the Dakini, right? And it's the serpent energy, the sex priestess, which is connected a lot with healers, with medicine, with transformation, with wisdom, right? It's connecting into that energy that comes up to the solar plexus, which is our other masculine chakra. Into our solar feminine, into our wild feminine, into really supporting our creatrix to birth with confidence and put it out into the world what we're here to create, right? And as we move up, it continues to the siren, which is connected to the higher heart and allows us to speak our truth from our heart. Our higher heart is our place of service. It's connected into our spiritual path, our soul mission. For me, the thalamus feels like the seat of the soul. It is our soul voice expression that's coming through. And in order to speak our truth, to feel our truth, to know our truth, to see our truth, that's what the masculine journey is about. And then finally connected to the oracle, connected to our highest divine wisdom, our channeled, our divine feminine frequency, and be able to see and know and feel that clearly as a channel, as a guide, as a voice from our starseed ancestors, that we are all starseeds. This starseed journey, divine feminine awakening and anchoring in is the starseed journey. It's anchoring back in soul, anchoring back in this divine self, this cosmic light self, into this physical form, which is the feminine body, the intuition, the creativity. So spirit, it's a return to spirit and an embodied soul that can work together in sacred union in order to move out the soul mission and soul purpose and soul purpose. So yes, mirror, the reflection will come up in those around you. It will come up in that twin flame, whether you there in your life or not. And again, it may end up that healing journey happens for both. And when it does, there is, some sort of sacred partnership, collaboration, future 10 of Cups energy there that is like, yes, we're here to light this world on fire. This could also be a platonic partnership. It could be something that you're here to create in this world together that helps the planet evolve or helps heal in some way. It could be that you just, have a really beautiful collaboration or you have a business together. It's going to be different for everyone depending what your soul mission is here. Dolores Cannon is another good resource who has written a lot on the phases of the twin flame journey. That one can also be helpful. And then I really want to credit Magnetize Yourself by Infinity. She's got a really beautiful podcast that is just so spot on with what the feminine and masculine are going through right now. So I'm seeing the shadow and light energy coming through with the sun coming in, which feels so good, as it's been difficult. It's been heavy. The energy has been heavy for feminines right now, divine feminines, and we've kind of been in hermit mode. We've kind of been going inward and almost this waiting and knowing what's coming, but not quite knowing when and what, but just feeling that something new is coming. And it can get really heavy and really hard. And and when something new is coming in, there is a lot of old that is shedding and letting go. And I've personally been experiencing that, and everything is changing in my world. Relationships, places, that my living environments, everything. Businesses that did not come to fruition. And it's been a lot of grief and loss through these stories. So the high priestess is the one that can hold the both, right? The shadow and the light, knowing that what is releasing and letting go as you continue to hold your truth, as you continue to stay in your light, as you continue to speak your truth, as you continue to go inward and work on those conditional love stories of worthiness, of releasing those wounds. We are this journey, this sacred union journey is about worthiness. It's a love story. It's a new love story of connecting back into our truth and knowing, seeing, and feeling and embodying that, our worthiness. And if that person that you are connected to so deeply is not available, and there's no one else you want to do that work with, that's when you go inward and you do that work on yourself. You do that work with yourself. Oh, yeah, heart flutters, higher heart. That's a big yes, true. And that's what we're here to do. That's what the feminine has been doing is that work, so that it activates the masculine. And they've been working physically a lot. They've been working physically on themselves. I've been noticing that in a lot of, clients and colleagues and friends, and that it's working inward, right? So now they're starting to open back up to the emotional work and the spiritual work, like it's coming. And eventually that will start reflecting on the outer world as well. But, speaking the truth is really, that's the journey, that worthiness and standing in their truth. And that might be standing in the truth, like what the feminine had to do with like judgments, people that may not agree with what they're doing or how they're doing it, of their own stories and projections coming to the surface of unhealed and wounded parts. And this twin flame story journey will come with its own challenges that your souls have agreed on before you even came here, of what needs to heal on the planet. It's going to activate that. So it's going to continue to hold those challenges. And some people have had some that have already been doing this work with their flame, have found themselves separated and doing that work and then coming back together. Some have found that, the feminine has really worked on that worthiness wound and is continuing to stand in that light as the masculine is not meeting them at that level right now. That they need to do that work. And it's really important for the feminine to continue to stand in that light, to stand in that truth, in order to really hold space for the vibration of the whole planet to rise. Because when the masculine does that work, then the feminine and masculine will be in balance and union, and then that's really going to light this planet up. There's really a beautiful creating heaven on earth energy with that, where heaven is the soul energy, the divine masculine, and earth is the feminine. You're literally creating that heaven on earth energy together, and living what you love, living your heaven on earth. So, okay, this has gone really long. It was really more supposed to be about mirroring and reflections, the twin flame journey, knowing that we have come out of this eclipse energy with a new lens and a new awareness. This new year is creating a lot of new beginnings. And I also wanted to say the jewelry line collaboration that I have with Robin Rhodes is based on this journey. It's based on really this twin flame journey. That's what it was going to be called. These new archetype stones, which are the labradorite, the sunstone, the amazonite, and the lapis, are the divine masculine to the divine feminine from the Lit from Within collection that we did together. It's also about returning to knowing who you truly are. It's based on not all, it's based on several of the divine feminine, the goddesses, the priestesses celebrated throughout the planet to reclaim and to celebrate our ancient lineage of who we truly are connected to, and to help individuals stand in their truth, speak their truth, know their truth, embody their truth. So what I would encourage you to check out that jewelry line. It's really beautiful. Comes with a free guided meditation with affirmations that will help you along this path and along this journey. I'd be so curious to know if others of you can relate to this path. I really am going to focus more of spiritually naked with soul. This has been a hard truth for me to speak for a long time, for several months. Yeah, because so much has changed and shifted, and because I'm an empath and I want to take care of others and make sure that nobody else is feeling hurt, and everybody else is protected. But this is important to speak this. This is High Priestess, Starseed, Light Worker, Twin Flame journey. And recognizing that the bigger picture of this is that return to love, and that this is what we're here for. And I'm seeing this story over and over again within my clients, that this is more than just a me thing. And this is something we need support with, just like I needed support when I was going through that, whether it be the divine feminine awakening and anchoring, which these archetypes were my journey. If it's the twin flame journey where you just feel like, what hell is going on? Am I crazy? Why can I not stop thinking about this person? I'm like, wow, why can I feel this? Why can I hear this? Yes, all that is super important to talk about. So, yeah, so you're not alone. Okay. And I have my oracle deck right here that I've been sorting this whole time. And I just want to pull a card before we come to a close of what's going to support you the most at this moment, as where you are on this journey. And whenever you receive this video is when this is meant to come into place. And I really love what Affinity says in her podcast, which is when you like and subscribe to my channel, it brings in the energy and the frequency of you so that I can gear more of my readings directly to you and your energy and have that connected. So it will be more aligned. So thank you. You do that. And oh, that's a big one. Okay. That one makes sense. So learning to trust her again. Learning to trust her again. And hers the divine feminine. Hers the feminine. Hers the feminine wounds, the mother wounds, the witch wounds. You know, we have a lot of trauma and story around the feminine that the masculine is right now exploring. I think I'll start with a card reading next time, just so you know. That kind of puts an intention. I had so much, I felt like I just had to. So, yeah, healing sisterhood wounds. Together we rise. And we may not have always felt supported by the feminine. We may not have had a good relationship with our mother. We may have even had a lot of betrayal, abandonment, rejection. That is a big theme that comes up with healing through the feminine, is our fears of rejection and abandonment, because we've been so separated and divided from the ancient mother, from the feminine balance to the masculine, to the patriarchal lens, the nurturing, the compassionate, the unconditional loving mother energy has been non-existent, really. So those abandonment wounds, those fears are coming from that. And it's so important that we heal that so that we can connect to our own inner nurturing mother and our own inner unconditional loving mother within, and that we're not depending on other people or the relationship to fill up that cup, right? To make us feel safe. I think I can say it in that way. Or always having that overlooming fear that this person's going to leave us or betray us or reject us. Yeah, that's a big one. That one came up. That came up for an ego death for me. Of feeling that separation and division, but recognizing that this was a masculine wound. This was something from my inner masculine. I'm feeling so separated and divided from the feminine. This also comes up with bringing sisterhoods together and feeling safe in that community and trusting other women, right? Trusting that we're here to rise together, that we're here to collaborate, not compete. And we can get that competitive story going on when we feel like we're not enough, we're not doing enough, or not, yeah. And that can separate and divide us versus like feeling that enough and plenty, not being in that scarcity lens, feeling safe and supported to heal and connect. Like, yeah, she's got my back. So learning to trust her again. And under that was the dragons of creation. So I just want to end on that one because it's such a beautiful card. Oh, dragons of creation. Ancient shamanic wisdom. So shamanic wisdom is this alchemizing, this divine alchemy process, right? Knowing you are your own shaman, you are your own inner healer, you are your own divine alchemist. And the dragons of creations are the mothers in ancient lineage and culture. The dragons are connected to this mother energy, this creation energy, this life-giving energy that we are our original mothers are connected to the dragons that wear dragons, this dragoness energy. And I'm You're the dragon. I've always been attracted to everything dragons, and I didn't really know why. And then as I learned more and more about the history of dragons, um, that the oracles, right? The oracles of Delphi were known as the dragonesses. She who holds it all, right? Who has reclaimed these parts of self, was known as the dragoness, the one that can connect and be a channel for the guides, for the cosmic light, and connected to the earth. That was the dragoness and the dragoness journey. This is also brought up in Egyptian lineage. It's also brought through in the medicine wheel. You know, when we connect these parts of self or reclaim our wholeness, we connect back to this dragon energy. And so there is a really beautiful piece, a necklace called Dragoness. That's one of my favorites in this line with Robin. And that's this really beautiful piece that just sits right here over the soul. So I encourage you to check that out. Thank you so much for joining me today. And like I said, next time we will start with a reading, create more of these intention. Thank you for swimming naked with me, with soul, as we move through this journey and what it means. Being here in this lifetime on this twin flame journey. Thank you so much.